Everyone is your manifestation because everyone is you pushed out. At first, this statement might seem incredibly controversial because it suggests that you're responsible for how others behave toward you, and this means their actions, whether positive or negative, directly result from your own thoughts and beliefs. And this idea can be really tough to swallow, especially if you've had a challenging life. I do appreciate that. It certainly shakes up our traditional views of free will, implying that people are simply acting out their assumptions and beliefs you hold about them, which means they don't have their own autonomy. I know that when I first encountered this concept, it was a lot to take in. In all honesty, it felt unsettling and a bit lonely. And the way it was presented on YouTube actually made me question whether I was being narcissistic or controlling, as if it was all about me getting what I wanted and at others' expense. But as I went on to research this principle, I realized just how empowering it really is. It actually transformed my manifestation experience. Not only did I start manifesting faster and easier because it took the guesswork out of what my vibration was and what I needed to do to make that change, but it also felt incredibly supported and guided. I began to see how the 3D world was helping me co-create a more fulfilling life experience, something we all strive for, right? So in today's video, I'm diving into what everyone is you pushed out actually means, and how you can start viewing the 3D world this way to manifest effectively your dream life. And that is no exaggeration, I can guarantee that. But I do want to preface what I'm about to share. If you're new to this concept, or to conscious manifesting in general, remember, you ultimately have the choice on whether or not to embrace this information. You really don't have to. It can take time to adjust to this perspective, so all I ask of you is to keep an open mind, and I cannot wait to hear your thoughts and perspectives on this in the comments. Before we get started, let me introduce myself. I'm Frances, and I teach the biblical approach to conscious manifestation, offering a much deeper understanding of the works of Neville Goddard, Abraham Hicks, and other prominent spiritual teachers. With my background studying neuroscience and teaching my mastery for like 8+ years, I ensure that becoming a conscious manifester and recognizing the divinity within you addresses the mental health aspect of your journey, because that's really important to me. I don't just tell you how to recite affirmations or persist in visualization without context. That's surface level teaching that doesn't actually help everyone. I explain the why, the how, and the what so you understand clearly what you're doing, why you're doing it, and how it will bring the results you want. So if this resonates with you, subscribe, join my membership for live Q&As, and check out our private Facebook group for support and guidance. All the links are below. Now let's talk about everyone as you pushed out. It's a concept from Neville Goddard's teachings. At its core, it means that what you see as your external 3D world, the people you meet, the situations you encounter, are all reflections of your internal beliefs, assumptions, and feelings, because they make up your vibration. It's kind of a mind-blowing idea, right? That shows really how deeply connected our inner world is with outer 3D experiences. Now, Neville's concept stems from the biblical understanding of God. And allow me to kind of geek out here for a moment. Christianity, Judaism, and Islam are all major non-theistic religions, which means their central belief systems affirm the existence of only one deity, or God. Now, in these religions, God is said to be omnipresent, which means present everywhere at the same time. Omniscient, which means knowing everything, and omnipotent, which means having unlimited power. Now, all of these words have one thing in common, and that is that they derive from the Latin prefix omni, which means all. One of my favorite descriptions of God that I first heard many years ago in an interview with the late Maya Angelou. So let's think about this for a moment. If God, or all, in his divine presence is truly everywhere and in everything, and if God is all-knowing and all-powerful, then it stands to reason that God isn't separate from you. Think about it. If God is all, how can you be separate from that creation? Doesn't quite add up, right? This is where the idea of one consciousness comes into play. We're not isolated beings, rather we are expressions of the same divine source, each offering a unique perspective on the 3D world. I view it as God living sort of vicariously through me, and He has given me every innate skill and tool to co-create my human 3D experience with Him. As Bashar puts it, you have to be made from God because there's nothing else to be made from. This means that each of us is a manifestation of this universal consciousness, reflecting and interacting with the world in our own way. So when we say everyone is you pushed out, we're acknowledging that every person and situation in your life is a reflection of your internal state. And since we're all a part of the same divine essence, the way you perceive and interact with others is essentially a reflection of how you view yourself, because they are mirroring your thoughts, feelings, assumptions, and beliefs. Through this, you'll see that how you treat and think and feel and what you believe about others directly impacts your own experiences. That creates your vibration, and your vibration dictates how others can act and behave around you. Now, why does understanding this help you co-create the life of your dreams with the divine? Well, let's break it down. When you really get that everyone and everything in your 3D reality is a reflection of your own internal state, it's like you've unlocked a whole new level of control. This means that by changing your internal state, you're essentially sending out a new signal to the universe. And that means that the people, places, and circumstances have to change to align with who you are now conscious of being in any subject area. Money, career, relationships, you name it. So think of this as being able to get direct feedback. Okay? If you're not seeing the results you want in the 3D, it's a sign to check in with your inner state and make adjustments. This constant interaction helps you kind of fine-tune your approach, making sure you're in alignment with your true desires. What's more, realizing that the divine is not separate from you, but rather working through your experiences changes how you relate to it. It is literally why we are told biblically, love thy neighbor. At its core, this is more than just a moral guideline. It's a profound acknowledgement of our interconnectedness. If you consider the idea that everyone is a reflection of your internal state, then loving your neighbour becomes a way of acknowledging that they are, in essence, a reflection of you. When you extend love and compassion to others, you're not only nurturing positive relationships, but also aligning your vibration with love, which is the fulfillment of the law, because God is love. And they will have no choice but to treat you this way in return. Remember, before Abraham was, I am, which applies to you. It highlights the eternal, unchanging essence of your very being. It underscores that at the deepest level, your true self, your I am, is a constant and fundamental truth that you and me and everyone are always an extension of God, of divine source energy. So grasping that everyone is you pushed out isn't just about understanding your external world, it's about using this knowledge to actively shape your life in partnership with the divine. It's a powerful way to ensure that what you experience and manifest truly reflects your deepest aspirations, and the 3D is designed to help you get there. And if you want to learn exactly how to do this, then I have detailed video tutorials on my channel, so be sure to check them out. Just remember, God gave us grace for good reason. You're here to learn and not always going to get this right. But what I do know for sure is He never gives us what we cannot handle, because there is nothing we have co-created that we cannot change, because it starts and ends within us. In the meantime, thank you so much for all the likes, shares, and subscribes. I'm so pleased that you are joining me on this journey. I can't believe how quickly this channel's taken off. And here is what YouTube thinks you should watch next.